So did anyone ever make a guess on our last video of what we're going to be building today? What? Nobody did? Not even you? What do you mean the clues were too vague? They were in plain sight. Oh, come on. Et tu, little lamb? What do you mean singing Bob Bob Black Sheep would have been a better hint? What do I have to work with around here? Hello, my fellow noobsters, it's me, Texas PK, and today we're going to get started on our shepherd's house and automatic wool farm. Behind me you can see the footprint of where we're going to be putting the main structure of the build, or at least the part that you can see from up top. This area that I'm standing in is going to be the storage area for all the 16 different colors of wool. Over here is going to be the living quarters for our shepherd, and the rolling hills behind me we're going to be set up to where we can have a few sheep wandering around and be part of our pasture land for the sheep. But of course the automatic wool farm is not going to be up here on top. Nope, we're going to put it down underground, hide it away to where we don't see it unless we really want to go in there and take a look. Well, let's go ahead and take a look right now. Okay, so in between episodes, I cleared out this entire area underneath our shepherd's house and storage area for the wool, which you can see the outlines for it up here above us. But this is the area where we're going to actually put our sheep and the automatic components to our wool farm. So we're going to have all 16 different colors of wolf in this farm, but I'm going to be doing it in modules of 4. So there'll be a module of 4 right here. We'll have 2 sheep on this side, 2 on that, with all the different observer and dispenser and redstone shenanigans going on in between it. And then have another module of 4 over there, and 4 over there, and 4 right there. And then what we'll do is have a dropper elevator on this side, feeding up to some chests up above right there. And on the other side of the storage area, we'll have some more dropper elevators feeding up to where our chests are right there. But that's enough explaining of what we're going to do, so let's go ahead and get started with building our sheep farm. So the first thing we're going to need to do is lay out where the sheep are going to go. And I think we're going to go like this. And just place some glass blocks in this pattern. And what we'll do is we'll have 1 sheep here and 1 sheep here, and then have a staggered output on this side where we'll have 1 sheep right there. So let's put a block there and a block there, and then come over here and put 1 right here and here. And there'll be a wall of droppers right here that'll block this side, but this is going to be a good footprint for where our sheep are going to go. The next thing we need to do is put in an observer that will be looking at that grass block, so that the way it'll work is that the sheep that is inside this block will eat the grass, the observer will see it and send out an output signal. And so we need to have a solid block right here, and that output will then power this block. And then if we come in with some redstone dust and place it right there, it will then power a dispenser. This dispenser will have a shear inside of it and will shear any sheep that just ate the grass block right there and drop the wool in this little square. And then next we need to come in and do the same thing for each one of these cells. So let's put an observer here facing that grass block, 1 there, and then come across and have 1 facing into there. Again, a solid block behind each one. Redstone dust on each of these blocks. And a dispenser facing this way into the pen for each sheep. Alright, So then all we have to do is just come in and finish off the walls of each cell, or pen, whatever you want to call it. And we're also going to want to have some lighting so that the grass can grow even though it's underground. So we're going to come in here with some shroom lights, but you can use any lighting you want to. And we'll just place that on top of each of these redstone dust, just so that there's more than enough lighting to keep this place well lit. I also want to be able to get new shears into our dispensers easily whenever they need to be reloaded, so I'm going to go ahead and put a hopper pointing into each one. So all I have to do is come across the top and drop them in, it'll go in automatically into our dispenser. If at some point I want to come back in with some rails and put a minecart to feed into these, I could do that as well, but for now I'm happy with just coming in and dropping in shears into each one of these hoppers. Alright, so now that we have each of the pens ready for our sheep, we need to come down below and let's add in some more collection system. Now, in order to pull the wool in through the grass block above, we're going to need to use a minecart with hopper. But we also need to have it then fed through a system of hoppers into some chests, which will then be fed into our dropper elevator. So let's get started with the double chest first. And we'll just place one there, and then another 3 off of it, for a total of 4 for this module. Now we just have to figure out where each of the different hoppers should be pointing, and since we know this is where one of our cells is, it might as well just go ahead and feed straight down into there, and we'll put a hopper minecart on top of that. But let's go ahead and put the rest of them in. For this chest, we're going to need to just kind of worm our way around and daisy chain it in to this spot right here. So we'll come here and then one right there. Then we need to come around the other side for the other 2 and do something similar. Alright, so this one right here is going to feed into that chest. Alright, and then we need another one here that will feed from this location. So let's put it right there. Perfect. Now we just need to put some solid blocks around it so that we can hold our hopper minecarts in place. Let's go here and here and just kind of build a cage around each location. Alright, so let's get our rails into place, and I'll just put it here. And pull in our hopper minecart. Well, there we go. Of course, we need to crouch place to put the rail into place. And put it here. And we don't want that rail, so let's go ahead and see if we can't break it. It can be a little tricky finding the hitbox for the rails. Oh, there you are. I don't know if you can see it on the video, but I can see a really fine line underneath it. And it should have dropped into that chest, which it did. Let me grab that. And then we'll come over here and do the same thing. And just try and position where I can see the hitbox for it. And that should have fed into the second chest, which it did. Alright, then we want to enclose it so that they don't accidentally get knocked off. So we'll just go on there, like that side there. And then come around the other side and finish off with these hoppers as well. Now I don't need to put one right there because our dropper elevator is going to be the 4th wall on that hopper minecart, so we won't have a problem with that. But let's go ahead and go here, and we'll place some blocks to hold these in place, and one here and there, and one right there. We'll place our rails, grab the minecart with hopper, And then carefully remove the rails. Whoop. And we should find a rail in each one of these chests, which we do. Now that we need to block this one off here. And here. Well, that was the wrong spot. Let me fix that real quick. Alright, so now we just need to come down here and power this system. And what we're going to do is use an observer to detect whenever something comes into this chest. So whenever something comes in, it will see it and activate the circuit. So let's go ahead and put our first observer. Okay, I need to get down one level so I can face up into that chest. Crouch, place one facing up, put a solid block underneath, and then fill in that hole. So what will happen is when it detects a change to the chest, it'll power this block. We then need to put a repeater facing out of it. I'm going to replace that block with a stone brick just in case. I don't think I'll be digging around underneath here, but I like making sure my redstone components are on something different that I'll recognize. So that'll work good. Put a solid block there, which will then be powered. And then our dropper elevator is going to be right there. So let's go ahead and put those components in. Let me just temporarily put a block here so I have somewhere to pillar up from. And then we just place, whoop, I meant to put a dropper. So let's do that real quick. We're done for the moment with our observers. So put a dropper there, and just pillar all the way up, 3 at a time. Oh, I'm up at the top already, so let me just dig a hole going up into our storage area. Whoop. And then this is going to be where our chest is. So let's go ahead and put that there so we'll see it easily when we come up and build around it. So the chest is in, so now we just need to come down and power our dropper elevator. And the way I find it easiest to work is to come in and just go ahead and pillar up blocks all the way. We can just temporarily put them there and remove them as needed. Just because I find it easier to remove the blocks to make the zigzag pattern instead of trying to build it as I go. So the first thing we need to do is, since we know this block is going to be powered, is that this one and this one will be taken out. And we need to put in some redstone torches. So let's go ahead and put that here. Like that. And then this begins the zigzag pattern. So we'll go here and remove this one and that one, and just keep on going up with the zigzag all the way up. And then come up to each layer and add in the torches to fill in those gaps. Alright, and I'm going to need to use some scaffolding here to get to the top of this pillar. So let me just go ahead and add those in right now. Need to put a torch here, and then one here, and there, and one more on this side, and one more on this side. And that should complete the chain of torches. Let me make sure I didn't miss any. Whoop, don't forget those. Alright, so our dropper elevator is in. All the torches are in place. I think the only thing left to do is to tie it into this double chest and then give it a test. So let's go ahead and crouch place into there. Yep, there we go. And so next we just need to come back up and put some items in the double chest just to see if it'll work. Let's go ahead and I'll put in 2 pieces of dirt. And did it work? I didn't hear it click. So it must have worked. Let's take a look. Oh, it's nighttime. There we go. The dirt made it all the way to the top. So our dropper elevator is working. All that's left now is to fill in the other 3 columns for this module and then repeat it 3 more times. So let me go ahead and sleep the night away and I'll finish that off and bring you back when it's done. Back in a sec. Well, there you have it. All 4 modules are done. We have enough space for 16 sheep, 1 of each of the different colors available. And so all that's left is to lure those in and put them into place, and then put the build up on top. Now, of course, the luring of sheep is not exactly the most exciting thing to watch. So I'll go ahead and do that off camera, get them in place. I have some that I have in a pen for manual farming that I was using earlier on, just so I'd have enough wool to make beds and that sort of thing. But I'll go ahead and move them into place from that pen, and if I need some extras, I'll just breed them up and make sure that I have 1 in each pen. So I'll go ahead and take care of that now, and I'll get back with you when we're ready to do the exterior build of our shepherd's house. See you in a minute. Okay, so that I have all 16 sheep into place. I had a lot less ready than I thought I did, so I had to breed up quite a few. But they are all dyed the 16 different colors, and they're in their pens and ready to go. We just have to wait for them to grow up and for them to start producing wool. But now it's time to do the exterior build of our shepherd's house and storage building, so sit back and enjoy the time lapse. Alright, our shepherd's house and wool farm is all done, and I must say I really like how it turned out. Kind of really like the dark prismarine contrast with the dark oak and the spruce wood. And because of that, it just really kind of makes the cobblestone pop out as well, instead of being an overwhelming color in the palette. But let me go ahead and give you a quick tour of the building and show you what it looks like on the inside. All right, when we come in, you can see I went ahead and put in a stone floor. This is a barn kind of thing anyway, so I thought it looked good. Our wool has been pouring in automatically the whole time we've been building, and you can see we've already got nearly 2 stacks of the ones we started with. Also have all the different reds over in this area. Whoop, it looks like a grass block accidentally fell into our inventory system there. And then over here we have the greens and the blues and the purples. If we come in here to our little shepherd's house, you can see he's already moved in. Hey, how you doing? And I already did all the zombie curing to get him down to the best prices available, and in that way we can get paintings now for only 1 emerald, as well as all the shears we're going to need to replace in our wool farm down below. So this is going to be perfect setup for us in our wool farm. I also have done the same normal thing I've been doing of putting in fence gates to keep them safe so that no zombies can get in and hurt our villagers, and that way they also can't just disappear on me as well. When we come out the back, you can see we have a nice little area that leads up into a walled off pasture land for our sheep. I haven't extended all the way yet, but I'm going to just kind of go ahead and bring it up alongside near our wheat farm and just bring it around the edge and perimeter of that area down and around back to the house. I went ahead and moved our sheep up here temporarily inside a fenced in little area, but as soon as I get the wall in, I'll go ahead and let them free. From the back, it looks just as good as it does from the front, so I kind of like how this build turned out. But I think that's about where we're going to call it an episode. I hope you had a lot of fun. I know I did. If you did, make sure you do all those things you're supposed to do, and I hope to see you again in the next one. But until then, this is Texas PK. Be good to each other. Bye.